Hello everyone, welcome to Right at Home Solent Mobizio training. So for those of you who won't be able to make it into the office for the next couple of days to get some training, hopefully this will give you a really good overview of what we're trying to achieve through Mobizio. So when you first log into Mobizio, nothing really changes. So you'll see your visit that you're there with. So if you click through to your visit, you'll start seeing what is different with Mobizio and how we're going to be using it. So everything at the top of Mobizio is exactly the same as it was previously, and what you can see down here is your planned activities, and this is the bulk of what has changed, as well as forms and associated cases which are already available, but I'm going to give you guidance on how to use that during this video. So when you start your visit, I still want you to be logging in using the QR code. So obviously you'd scan the QR code, which I don't have with me right now. And then the aim of what we're trying to achieve now is really for you guys to have some real focus around what it is that you want to be doing when you're in a visit with a client. So naturally at the moment we know that the idea is that everyone reads through a detailed care plan. We've just been through a process of making our care plans really, really detailed. So we know that that isn't always realistic all the time, even though it is still something that we'd like you to do. So what we've done is gone through a process of translating all of those care plans into some activities. So hopefully you'd never really see more than about 10 activities here unless there's a complex set of medication with the client. And the idea for each visit is really to work through these activities. So if I was to click the first activity, which is enter property, click through to that, I've got the title of the activity as well as some instructions to do with that activity. So this is our Mobizio test client, which we use in our inductions, and for those of you who've managed to make it in for the training, you've seen that there as well. So the idea is for you to enter the meeting room, greet everyone in the room nicely and log into the visit. So obviously a little bit tongue-in-cheek because that's how I like it when people come in for induction and for training, but the idea is really for you to write a note here at the bottom where it says add comment for each activity. So initially this is how I want it to run, in that we provide some details. So you're going to be writing these bits in the comms logs anyway, so for you to write it here is not going to make any sort of difference really. So you put in your note saying, yes, I didn't, well, actually I haven't completed this, so I've said I haven't completed it. I'm going to put a reason code which is other, which is for most of the activities, and said this is a training video, so didn't use meeting room. So for me, that's fact, so I can put that in. And the idea with this is that it's reflective of a comms log. So again, it should always be fact. So I've put confirm in there. So now you can see that this activity is marked red over here at the top. So it wasn't done, and you can see the note that I've written in here that it wasn't done, and the reason why, because it's a training video, so we didn't use the meeting room. I can literally just press the back button now and go out of that visit. If afterwards, if it's another activity that I feel like actually I have now subsequently completed, I can go into the visit, and if I click on the bit that is red, I can say that actually no, I have completed it, was actually completed. And then I press confirm. What you'll see is a full audit trail of it was initially not marked as completed and then marked as completed with the notes. So fantastic, fantastic information that is available there. And the idea of Mobizio now is that for us, these activities are reflective of what you'd put in a comms log, but this makes it easier. It gives you the ability to focus on each activity and give us some specific details with regards to that activity. So if I was to click on to transfer, the idea again is when you're in the meeting room to swap seats with a person to the left of you, and you can see there that I've given guidance in what I want you to be providing a note about, which you might also see in your actual Mobizio visits with clients. So please input in the comments who you swap seats with. So let's just assume I was in the meeting and I had swapped seats with Michael Jackson. Why not? Ow! And completed. If we go back, and the idea really is like I said, to work your way through these activities. So one of the questions might be, well, am I going to be doing this whilst I'm with the client? Am I going to be doing it at the end of the visit? And that's completely your choice, but I guess it's going to be really dependent on your client. That's the main thing. So if you've got clients where you can be inputting these things during the visit, then I'd say go ahead and do so. Obviously, communicate with your client that you're going to be doing that, and they'll be getting used to it as well. and like I said, so the idea is really to work your way through these. For me, one of the best bits about Mobizio is the medication, how that's used. So each different type of medication, if it's a level 2 administration of medication, each different type of medication is going to be a separate activity. So what's fantastic about that is that we've got some clients who have different medication on a Saturday and on a Wednesday, for example. In Mobizio, for that visit, you're only ever going to see the medication that needs to be given during that visit. So we take the hard work away from you, because sometimes it can be difficult to kind of translate a Mars log, especially if you've not really got the time and you're running late in the visit. So what you'll see here is every single type of medication that you're due to be giving in that visit is a separate activity. So initially, for PRN medication as well, there'll be a separate activity, and obviously if the client doesn't take it, then you'll put refused. So if we were to look through paracetamol, so it gives you the details. It's the opportunity to have a photo. So if there's, for example, the example that I always use is around inhalers. If someone has 2 different types of inhalers, we might put a photo of them just to make it clearer for you. It's got the dosage on there, date range, days, and the route. So everything that you'd expect to see on a Mars, but I feel like this is just so much easier to see and read and translate. And then it's got instructions on there as well. So ensure the client's had cold water to have the tablets with. And here you've obviously got your same options of completed and not completed. So if it's not completed, the reason codes are reflective of your Mars log. So the example I always use is family administered. So went into a client, they told me that no, my daughter Lisa came and gave me the medication. I'm going to then be obviously asking that client, when did Lisa come and give you the medication? Because that's really important information to be added into here. So I'd say that, okay, so a client informed me that Lisa daughter came 2 hours ago and gave medication. Yeah? And this is the sort of information that's going to be really, really crucial for us. And whilst I was writing that note, you can also see that autocorrect works in here, which is fantastic for people with terrible spelling like myself. And there you go. So again, it's marked as red that the medication was skipped because it was administered by family. Okay? Brilliant. So there's going to be different activities in there as well. So we've got companionship, prompting client, monitor food intake. It's going to be reflective of your clients. And if we go to the other medication and say that actually we did complete this, so you've got some medication there, and it was administered, and I've just put that the medication was administered. Some of your clients you may want to put different information, because for example, a couple of clients that we have in Fairham, some of them that you want to know where they are when they took the medication, or if they were in bed, you managed to sit them up so they could have their medication, then they went back to bed. That information would be put in the comment. So had whilst in bed. Had adults, great. Had whilst in bed. Post. So the information's on there. You can see who's done that as well. Okay, so awesome. So I want to show you the next bit of Mobizio, which is actually functionality that's already in Mobizio, but we just haven't given you the guidance on how to use it fully yet. So these are forms. So the forms in here are really, really useful, and some people have already started using them, so hopefully that shows that they're quite self-explanatory. But in a certain situation, for example, if there's an incident or you have a concern with one of your clients, this is where we'd want you to raise those concerns from, or inform us about the incident. So if I start with raise a concern form, so if I click on that concern, then all you do is you want to raise the concern about a client. So Tom's medication not arrived. So I want to submit that, because for me that is a real concern. Are there any concerns that need to be escalated to the office? And the answer is yes in that situation. Please provide additional details. Family normally do it, but they are away. So that's really clear, because this form is going to get sent to the relevant person in the office. Really, really clear now. Okay, well, we've got to do something about it. I mean, for me, like I always say to everyone, is I'd always put an additional bit of detail in there, because you guys are professional people. You know what the next steps are. So give us the solution, and then we can do it from there. So can someone please call pharmacy? And follow up. So normally that's something that you guys would be doing, but you might run out of time, so I'd put that detail in there as well. Submit that. So that form will go through, and so you can see that the sync was forced through there because I raised a concern form. Again, if I want to raise an incident, it gives me all the information on, completely reflective of our Ride at Home incident form, so really, really good. What's fantastic here is that it's got the ability to attach photos if relevant, which like additional information is always fantastic, and you just go through and fill in all the relevant bits of information there. Financial transaction record, if a client, for example, gives you £5 to go out and buy a newspaper, it's saying that how much money you took, how much money you returned, what happened with the receipt, all of that information, and then the ability to give your signature, which is fantastic writing, and then the ability to give the client signature. You put that in there, obviously get the client to sign it, and then you submit that, and then that's a form that is submitted as well. Again, the sync was forced through there. I guess the idea with Mobizio and the way that we're going to be using it now is obviously for us to go completely paperless as far as client files are relevant, because as you guys know that there's so much hassle and there's so much error in the fact that there's a version of a care plan at home and there's a version of a care plan at a client and the client folder in the office, so there's all this separate bits, whereas what we've got here is one system. So as soon as we update a care plan, that's going to be forced through to your apps, which means that that's the one version that's working. I mean, that's complete consistency. And where you get to your care plans and all the documents that would be in a client folder is through the associated case at the bottom. So if you click through to that and then you click on case forms, you can see all the information that would normally be in the care plan, in the care folder at the client's house. So all of that information would be in here as a document. So initially, over the course of April, the client folders are still going to be in the house because we're working on getting these case forms all uploaded for all of our clients. But it's really, really good for you guys to be using this information. And then once all of the information is on their app, then we're going to be pulling the client folder out of the house. So that's everything on the Mobizio as we're going to be working going forward. So if we try and end the visit now, it's going to give me a couple of things. So add visit note. So at the moment you're all adding visit notes, but obviously because you're writing the comms logs, you're not putting a lot of detail in there. Whereas going forward from this Thursday, so Thursday 29th of March, we're going to be using Mobizio going forward for all of our clients. So that means in the visit note, the sort of things I want you to be putting in there is really split into two separate categories. So that's notes that you want to leave for the next caregiver. And that's not, oh, I need you to do this or I need you to follow up with that, because it's not always definitely going to be read. But the sort of notes I'd expect to be put in there saying that, it was really heavily raining this morning, so I wasn't able to put the bins out, or please be aware that Alan's going out for day centre a little bit later on today, so he'll need X, Y, and Z. So anything that you'd try and remind the next carer of. The extra real important thing that I want you guys to be putting in here is about notes that are outcome focused. So we've gone through a whole process of trying to explain what outcomes are, and it's been really difficult, and we're going to be working on this over the next kind of 3-6 months as well. But in here, the sort of things I want you to be putting is that how you helped that person achieve their overall outcome. So example that I always use is that one of our clients wants to try and walk to the bottom of the garden. So you might not have been able to achieve that whole outcome, but you might have gone part way by doing that. So today we helped John get to the other side of the lounge. So you've shown to the kitchen, to the lounge. So you've shown what you've done to try and achieve his overall outcome. So we're not expecting you to do the whole outcome every single visit, but you might work through it. So if someone's outcome is to try and get to a garden centre, then maybe you've planned on which garden centre you're going to go to, which has the best parking. You've discussed it with your client. Yeah? Okay, so now if we try and end the visit, hopefully what it will show is that there are 5 unopened activities. So of those activities, I didn't even go into 5 of them. So it's prompting me that there's things that I was meant to do that I haven't done. Okay, so I'm going to go into those visits and say, okay, well, I've completed the companionship. Yes, I did this. It was great. This is the sort of feedback I normally get. Completed. Bang. And then prompting client. So no, I didn't do this. Session wasn't finished. So notes that are really reflective of that activity. Monitor food take, completed. Loved the donuts. Loved the donuts. Brilliant. It's not how you spell donuts, I don't think, is it? So make sure you sign out the training. Okay, great. I'm going to say I didn't complete it, didn't do it, obviously. So everything in here has to be factual. So you guys wouldn't be doing anything that you're not comfortable doing. You're all fantastic people doing great things. So sometimes things don't quite go to plan, but if you've written it down, there's a complete audit trail of why that's happened, and this is the massive benefit of Mobizio. Completed. I'm not going to put a note on that one. So I've gone in all of the activities. I've written notes against all of them. So that's a really, really detailed care plan, because it's all of the activities have notes against them, and then I've put something in the overall note as well. Yeah. So then all I do is end that visit. So I do it using the QR code normally. Well, I'll do it manually because that's what I've done. Yeah. And what's fantastic is the next person or anyone else who's going into that visit, and as well as everyone in the office, can see that 6 out of 9 tasks completed, and then you've got a little snippet of what the overall note was. So if I click into that, I can see the overall note, the first thing I can see, as well as seeing what was done in activities. Yeah, and that is Mobizio. So best of luck, like I said. So we're going live with Mobizio from Thursday the 29th of March. As of that date, we're going to be expecting that everyone is going through their apps, and they're going to be following these activities, and that's the way it works. So other things that might come up is that if you're up on a double up visit, you might be asked if you're the primary or secondary caregiver. It's no different to being a lead caregiver. We're going to be expecting you guys to be rotating between yourselves. Again, it's something that we're going to be monitoring. The difference here is that the primary caregiver is the person who's going to be seeing the activities and writing the notes against the activities. Other bits for you to know is, obviously, this is your system, guys. This has been put together to make things easier for you, to make your work more effective, and for it to be easier for you to document the fantastic things that you're doing, as well as, I guess, a big bit of it for me is to fix medication. I guess medication is a massive issue in our industry. We do it pretty well, but it's really, really important that we manage medication a much better way. And obviously, we're going to want your feedback. So if you do have any feedback, then call through to the office, say that you want to speak to someone about Mobizio, or email through to the Solent email address, put Mobizio feedback in the title, whatever, good, bad feedback. And obviously, the big bit of feedback that you're going to also be having is around the activities for your clients. So come into the office, speak to someone, say, okay, well, if I was a new caregiver, I'd also want to know this. This is really important to know. And that sort of information is really, really beneficial for us. And so client communication is going to be going out on this Monday, so all your clients will be aware, but speak to them about it, show them the app, be really, really proud of it, if you are proud of it, of course, which I really hope that you guys are, but do speak to them about it. It's just positive communication. They're going to see that you're on your phones more. They want to know that you're not just on Facebook or something like that, so show them what you're doing. And I guess, yeah, just really enjoy it, embrace it as your system, and we're really looking forward to getting all of your feedback. So thank you very much, guys. Take care and enjoy the system.